I want to take a few minutes to talk to you about what I call the Biden proclamation that he issued yesterday, September 9th. Today is September 10th. So it appears to me as though Joe Biden is on a warpath to abolish our freedom. There's going to be a lot of rhetoric and commentary and deception about this proclamation, but most of it is just noise. There is one part that I want to take a few minutes to talk with you about, and there are going to be four main points that I'm going to draw from it. I'm going to show you how to sort through the lies and teach you how to discern the truth for yourself. So the one part of his proclamation that I'm going to be looking at with you is this.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you, the people you work with, the people you care about, the people you love. My job as president is to protect all Americans.
So the first point that I want to draw from this clip that I just showed for you is it's not his job to protect us from sickness. It's his job to uphold the Constitution. The president is like a fiduciary, meaning that he has to protect us from himself. And protect us from what, you might be asking? He's supposed to protect us from the eternal vice of government, which is its relentless desire to seize power and take away our freedom. His number one job, which he took an oath to fulfill, is to protect individual rights and personal freedom, as described in the Constitution. He cannot suspend that prerogative in the name of public health or some other emergency. The Constitution recognizes no such exception or mandate. Second, the person who talks to you about sacrificing your freedom is actually talking to you about servants and masters, and that person intends to be the master. How can we know this? There's no power that the government has seized in the past 18 months that it has voluntarily returned to us since. How many times have we heard this phrase, get vaccinated so that life can return to normal? They dangled this, the concept of normalcy out there like a carrot in front of us. And they let us hold that carrot for about a month this summer, then promptly took it away and began a bully campaign against people who chose not to get vaccinated. And I want to just interject here. This is not a pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine video. That is not what this is about. This is about the government and the decisions that it is making and how those decisions are impacting our lives. And it just happens to involve this topic of vaccination. So what they've been doing is taking away people's rights and dignity as human beings and as Americans to make their own choice. That's what this video is about. Third, there's a principle about life that states you have what you do because it's what you want. So if we take this principle and apply it to recent undeniable actions and outcomes from the Biden administration regarding specifically recent events in Afghanistan, what we see is this. Number one, the Taliban took over the country in a weekend. The Biden administration had the power to stop it, but they didn't. Number two, the Taliban terrorists are now the most well-armed, best-equipped terrorist group in the world of all time, in all of history. They're the best, most well-armed group. The Biden administration had the power to destroy those weapon caches and keep them from falling into terrorist hands, but they didn't. Number three, thousands of American citizens were stranded in the murderous Taliban territory. The Biden administration had the power to rescue them, but the State Department deliberately interfered in rescue operations to keep Americans and our partners stranded there so that they did not rescue them. So now I'm going to teach you how to discern truth. It's a process I learned called following the fruit to the root. The fruit is the end result. It's what we're seeing right now. What we're seeing is the fruit of certain actions. Fruit is specific. It's not accidental. Only an apple seed grows an apple. Only a corn seed produces corn. Corn does not grow wheat. An apple seed does not accidentally grow a pear. A cherry tree does not try really hard to make cherries. Okay, every fruit tree, everything happens naturally and easily on its own. That's following the fruit to the root, and the fruit is always self-evident. Okay, the fruit and the root is self-evident. You wouldn't pick a plum and wonder what kind of orange tree made a plum. So what does this look like? The fruit is this. The Taliban has their own country again. So let's follow that to the root. Okay, the root is in Joe Biden. We know that. He had the power and authority and the prerogative to stop these things from happening and chose not to. Now, if we invoke the principle that you have what you do because it's what you want, this is how truth becomes self-evident. The truth is the Taliban has their own country again because it's what Joe Biden wanted. The Taliban is the best armed group of terrorist thugs in world history because it's what Joe Biden wanted. The world is much more unsafe now because it's what Joe Biden wanted. Americans and our allies were left behind as sacrifices to the Taliban to die because it's what Joe Biden wanted. We still haven't really come to the root, not all the way. We know the root is in Joe Biden, but we haven't identified what that root is. And I don't have time to go into this deep, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. The Taliban terrorists have been given a country armed and empowered because it's what not just Joe Biden, but our government at large wanted. Terrorists have a specific purpose: kill, maim, rape, and destroy. So the root of this fruit is hate. It's hatred of life, it's hatred of people, it's hatred of peace, and it's hatred of America, because they wanted to arm and empower people whose primary desire in life is to kill us. Okay, fourth point. I'm going to circle back to the beginning and reply to Biden's message about our freedom when he said it's not about your freedom or your right to choose. Okay, no, Joe, it is about our freedom and our right to choose what medicine we put in our body and why. I just want to point out that what Joe Biden and his administration did surrounding these events in Afghanistan was plant a seed. Okay, we followed fruit to the root, right? That root comes from a seed. It doesn't just happen. Okay, and a seed has everything inside of it that it needs to reproduce itself automatically. So what the Biden administration did throughout these events in Afghanistan, allowing Taliban to retake its country, arming them, leaving our people behind to die, all of that is seed. Okay, so the administration planted a seed of death and destruction. And that seed has now sprouted, right? Because we got out of there on the 31st, we left everything behind for them to take. We left manifests and lists of resources and all that stuff that they need to go after people and hunt them down and kill them. All right. So that seed is sprouted and that seed is being protected. So when a farmer plants a seed, it starts to sprout. He has to protect that sprout. Why? Because the sprout is proof of what is to come. Okay, that's your future crop. You're going to harvest that seed at some point. And that is what is being prepared for right now in that country with those people, is a harvest of death and destruction. And because of this, Joe Biden and his entire administration are the most unqualified people on earth to lecture anyone about the virtue of protecting Americans from anything. We know that because the fruit of what motivates the Biden administration is hate. So why is he openly attacking freedom and mocking and bullying people who stand for freedom and against his proclamations? It's like I demonstrated in my second point. Beware the person who speaks to you about sacrificing your freedom. Compelling you to willingly sacrifice your freedom along with your neighbor's freedom is what he wants. He wants to be your master, and he wants you to be a servant of his government. So in conclusion, I just want to tell you this. Many years ago, I began a project, and that project is called the Freedom Principle. What I discovered is that freedom is being groomed out of us. And I'm going to sum it up for you like this. Most people think that freedom is about being able to do whatever they want when they want. That's not freedom. That's something else entirely. It's called liberty. Okay, real freedom is about ownership, beginning with your mind. You've got to own your mind, and it also includes your body. Either you own yourself or you don't. It's as simple as that. A government that can force you to take medicine for or against your will owns you and can therefore force you to do anything that it wants. So here's the thing. Think about this. You can have freedom without liberty. There are many examples of that. I don't have time to get into it. But liberty without freedom is useless. So Joe Biden, along with his entire administration, is on a warpath to abolish our freedom. We know that because we followed the fruit of what we're seeing going on around us back to the root. And that root is hatred. Hatred of you, hatred of me, hatred of freedom. We need to work together to wake America up. It's not too late to protect our freedom, but we all need to do our part. Please share this video with people that you know who need to hear this message. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.